Hello and welcome. This is Sports This Morning. We're broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. Glad to have you join us. I'm Austin Okonakman.
And I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
Okay, let us get on with the show now. What's going on with Odion Ighalo? Will he stay? Will he go? Will he go? Will he remain at Manchester United? Shanghai Shenhua, I said, come back home. But Cecilia, as of last night, it looks like no deal for Odion Ighalo.
No deal yet coming from Manchester United. They've not confirmed anything, but we'll keep waiting and hoping that just maybe we might hear something later today.
That's what it is.
All right, also on the program, let's talk about someone that is making history right there in Germany. Talking about Jadon Sancho. He broke an English and Bundesliga record on Sunday when Borussia Dortmund beat Paderborn. Rout, not really beating. 6-1. He was on a hat-trick on that day. And after that, he actually revealed a justice of a George Floyd T-shirt. After he scored, that was his first goal in 57th minute. Because Dortmund went ahead to win that game 6-1, thrashing.
Showing love to George Floyd, so we need justice over that. It's good to see footballers also putting their voice to that one.
Yes. It's a sad one. Okay, also on the program, yes, we'll go to Spain, where Barcelona, they have their confirmed fixture for the return of football to Spain. So Saturday, June 13th, they will be away to Real Mallorca after a 3-month pause due to COVID-19. So while Real Madrid will be hosting Eibar on June 14. So organizers have released the fixture to conclude the Spanish La Liga.
That's what it is. So we're waiting. June. It seems June is the month of return for almost all the top
leagues,
leagues in Europe. So yeah, and here we are. By the way, happy new month. So June has come.
June 1st, yeah.
So we're waiting. Spanish La Liga, English Premier League, and the Italian Serie A will all be back in June.
Yeah, and hopefully Nigerian Professional Football League July we should be back. Hopefully, yes. Okay, where are we starting the show from this morning? Yeah, it's all about justice for Floyd. All the sportsmen that have been joining this particular cause. And let's start with Lewis Hamilton, what he had to say concerning this. For Lewis Hamilton, he wasn't really happy that other sports men are really not joining. I mean, he was taking a hit, on his own Formula One people. I mean, he went further to say that, what he said, I see those of you who are staying silent, some of you, the biggest of stars here to stay silent in the midst of injustice. Not a sign from anybody in my industry, which of course is a white-dominated sport. I'm one of the only people of color there, yet I stand alone. I would have thought that others will join me. So he just went on and on and on talking about, what's currently going on in the U.S. following the death of George Floyd.
Really sad that Lewis had to come out strong, say, guys, what's going on? Everyone is coming out to ask for justice for this guy that was, I don't know. People like,
okay, now the story is kind of painful. Yeah, you're trying to actually.
I know, but it's just sad. It's just sad, and protests. Different cities in America, different persons are coming out to say, look, this is wrong. It could be anybody, and so Lewis Hamilton just had to come out and say, look, this is wrong. We have to come out, speak, and because, of course, Formula One is dominated by the whites. It will pass a wrong message. That's what Lewis Hamilton is trying to say, that if we don't come out and stand, because we've seen videos where whites and blacks are coming together now to say, this is wrong, we need justice. And I'm glad sportsmen and women are also jumping into this.
Yeah, I went for that to say that he's not standing with those that are actually looting and burning buildings, but he just wants the authorities to do the right thing so that all of them, all these whole issues will be solved. Another one, McLaren driver Lando Norris also added his own voice, talking about, George Floyd and the justice that they want for him.
It's really good, Cecilia. But we'll put a pause on this because our special guest is ready for us. We'll just jump right into it. Super Eagles technical advisor Gernot Rohr has accepted the new contract from the Nigeria Football Federation. It's a contract renewal. He became the coach of the senior men's national team in 2016, and now he's been given a contract to continue on the job. Let's go to Bordeaux in France. That's where Super Eagles technical advisor Gernot Rohr is chilling. Good morning, Coach. Welcome to Sports This Morning. I should say bonjour.
Bonjour, good morning, everybody, and happy new month.
Happy new month, Coach Gernot Rohr. We're super excited to have you on the show this morning. But before we get into the Super Eagles of Nigeria, let's talk about COVID-19. Coach, it has paused a lot of things in our world of sports. When football comes back, do you think it will ever be the same again?
Yeah, before I answer to this question, of course, I want to add something what you spoke about in the moment with the lady. It's about George Floyd.
That's right.
I'm very proud to see this people now show the solidarity with George Floyd and asking for justice. Like you know, I watch German Bundesliga. I'm German, and so I'm very proud to see more players, not only Jordan Sancho, but also Thuram yesterday from Mönchengladbach, also the coach from Mönchengladbach, Marco Rose. A lot of players and coaches in Germany show the solidarity with George Floyd, and myself also I show it. So only this I wanted to say before answering on your question.
Yeah.
Your question is about COVID-19.
COVID-19.
I think it will change. It will change, I hope so, our society to have more respect of the other people, to take care of the poor people, to be with the people who have problems with health. And also in football, it will change. You see already the stadiums are empty. I think that it will come back to, of course, to matches with crowd, but not full stadiums for the moment. I think in September, October, we will have games, perhaps with 10,000 people in the big stadium of Allianz Arena in Munich. We will have matches in a different kind of spirit also, I hope, with more fair play, with more respect. I think perhaps there will come out something positive of this crisis of COVID-19.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's our hope. And you just mentioned that you're hoping football fans will be back to the stadium in September. What is it like playing football without fans?
Yeah, it's different. It's like in training. In training, we are most of the time alone. There's no crowd. Nobody is watching us. So we do games, also training games. It's a little bit like this. You can hear the coaches speaking. You can hear the staff participating. You can see, you can hear also the players, of course, crying and all these things. You don't have it when there is a crowd. But you know that now they have, especially in Munich, in other stadiums also, they have audio accompaniment. You have the people, there is a sound from the fans, what they bring in the stadium, in the empty stadium. Sometimes the players can believe there is a crowd, but it's different. We need our fans, we need the crowd, and we have to see very soon matches with our people. I think it will start with a few thousand in the big stadiums. And then if the numbers of the COVID are going down, we will have more and more people in the stadium again. And perhaps next year all will be like before. We hope so.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope football will come back because we just need to understand what football would be like without the fans. Let's bring it to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You became the technical advisor in 2016, and it's been a fairly good ride for you and the team. Contract renewal has been done with some conditions. And I read somewhere you said that you accept the two conditions. One of them, you'll be paid in Naira. Another, you live in Nigeria. And you also said that you don't even mind getting a lower salary. Coach Genaro, tell me, explain this, your love for Nigeria.
You know that I never speak about the confidential sides in my contract. You had the President Pinnick, you invited him and he spoke about it. He's the boss, he can do all what he wants. But to me, I never speak about it. So, you know, this is a job which is very special because this team is my team. I built it together, of course, with my officials and my staff. It's a new team, a very young team. I think the mission is not finished for the moment. And I want it to continue. And I think that the period we are living now with this COVID, with this special side of the business of the football of everywhere, everybody has to do sacrifices. And me the first. So let's continue to work again with this good and young team, with the officials who have confidence in my work. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, all the officials. I want to say thank you to Mr. Pinnick, who's giving me the opportunity to continue to work with this team. We have a good solidarity. There is a very good relationship, not only with the team, with the staff, but also with the officials. And I think this needs time. You cannot come and find in a few weeks or in a few months this complicity we have now. We want to continue in this spirit. We want to win our games. We want to play well. We want to see our players progress. And then I think everybody will be happy in Nigeria.
Obviously, that's what we all want. You just mentioned that this is your team that you've built, and of course, that's where your love came from. Now, this crop of players, do you think you can actually win the Nations Cup with them and also qualify for the World Cup, because that's part of the contract?
I think we have a chance to win the next Nation Cup. At first, we have to qualify. It's not finished. We started very well with the 2 victories, but you know, it's always easy to say we will win the Nations Cup. We will go into the quarterfinal of the World Cup. But let's stay humble, please. We all the time had our philosophy in our team and in our staff to stay humble, to respect the other teams, to respect the opponents, and we will not change. I think we have a good team. We were already number 3 now in Africa. When I arrived, we were number 13. So we are in a good way, but it needs time, and I think we even don't know when will be the AFCON. Yesterday, I had a video conference with all my staff, medical and technical staff. I wanted to introduce Yobo, my new assistant, and I spoke with my doctor, with my physio, with my assistants, with Mr. Tunde, with Jean-Luc, with Nabil, with everybody. So we are preparing the future now, and we want to know how we can win the AFCON. Let's qualify at first to the AFCON. I think we are on a good way to that. And then let's say that we want to win it.
Sounds good. Let's stay humble. Let's talk about players again and the sort of players you need while staying humble and working towards winning the AFCON or qualifying for the World Cup. You've been misunderstood by some of the statements you've made about players in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Persons will argue that we have quality players there. Do you want to make us understand what's your stance on home-based players and their chances of playing in the Super Eagles?
Everybody has a chance to come to the Super Eagles. Everybody who is doing well in his club. We don't look where they are playing. We only see the quality of the players. Unfortunately, the Nigerian league is not playing for the moment like a lot of other leagues, but they have also the chances to come. You know that I invited already 23 players from the Nigerian league. I still have one mostly of the time with me is the goalkeeper is Zenwa, but all the other players we invited, once they are in our Super Eagles team, they go to Europe and they are sold to this or this or this club. So and then there are no more Nigerian players. You cannot do all the time the team with Nigerian players. We have also a Chan team, like you know, the Eagles of Chan are only the players who are playing in Nigeria in the league and who can play for this Chan tournament. So unfortunately, they are not qualified for this one in Cameroon. But the best players all the time from this team have a chance to come in my team. And with my assistants, we are looking for them. They have a chance. I will watch the games. My assistant will see the games like we did all the time. We had the last time is Yusuf Salisu, where they went into the final in Morocco, and there were 3 players who are coming with us. Now they're in Europe, of course. So it's like that. You cannot all the time invite local league players, and then they go to Europe, and you want me to invite other local league players. It's not always possible. But we want to have the best one. if you want to come in this team now, you must be very strong, because we have already very good young players, and in Europe, players who are born from Nigerian parents, or the father or the mother, are so strong that it's very, very difficult for the local players to come in this team.
Well, I understand what you just said about having it difficult to get local players breaking into the team, especially when you have young players and talented ones and all. But it's part of your contract to actually have these players in the national team. How are you going to work around that?
Yeah, it's not a part of my contract to take players who are not so good like other one. I can choose my players myself. That is the most important. So nobody can tell me you have to take this one or this one or this one. I can take the best players, and I don't do it alone. We have a team in our staff. I have my assistants, I have my analyzer. Each Monday we have our meeting, and we speak about the games of the weekend, what they did, our players. So no, we have to take the best one, no matter where they are coming from.
Sounds good. We just needed to clarify that, because persons are making it sound like, oh, it's part of the contract that you must play home-based players. When you talk about this young team that you have and the rebuilding process, Coach General, where does this start? Knowing that this is a team that you've taken to the World Cup and you've also taken to the AFCON. How much work do we still need to do with this Super Eagles team?
Yeah, the work is to be all the time with the players, to see them, to have a good communication, especially in this time now when there are no matches for us. We have a very good communication, take care of them. We had also some injured players, like, our goalkeeper, Uzoho, was injured. Now he's coming back. He's working very hard. We sent him our fitness coach to help him. And we have also another player like Tyron, who was injured a long time. Now, in this long period, he can recover and come back. We had also Emmanuel Dennis, who was injured, can come back now. So the work in the moment is to be close to our players, to see them in a good health, to give them advices. Very soon we'll start the period of transfer. The FIFA window will open end of June, July, August, and we hope that some of them can come in better clubs to progress, or to play much more than they play in the moment, to have competition. The most important is to recover our injured players. The most important is to have all the time our philosophy to play the football, to go forward in a good collective system, few touches. Let's play quickly. Let's play with our quick wingers. Let's go forward very quickly and score the goals. And behind, we have to be also very strong. So we need this complicity, and the complicity needs time, because there are not so many games in a national team. It's not like in a club when you have the players every day in the training and you play each weekend. We need time, and we had already 4 years to work together. And I think we can progress very much in the next time. I hope we can play in September. I hope so. It's not sure yet. It's depending if the leagues are starting or not. Germany give the example. They had a very good concept, sanitary concept, very respectful, with tests before, with quarantine, living together, the players, the coaches. And it's working very well. They made already 4 games, each team. And even the second and the third division are playing. So I think it will start again. And I hope in Nigeria also they will start again, that we can see the players playing, and we can see that also they are progressing. That is now the next step, that they can restart the leagues, please.
We really can't wait for that, right? Yeah, for restart the league. I was going to ask you if you are keeping in touch with some of your players, because you already mentioned that you've introduced Joseph Yobo to other technical staff. Are you keeping in touch with the players these COVID time?
All the time, of course. The first thing to know is if they are in a good health, if everybody is okay. And I can tell you from our 30 or 35 players. We are in touch with all the time. Everybody's okay. Nobody is sick. And our injured players I spoke about are on the good way to come back. So we have all the time, each week, not only with the captain or the second captain, we have all the time a good relationship. Our captain is Ahmed Musa. The second one is William Ekong. And the other one, the players
Coach,
who are with us.
Coach, I'm just going to pause you. Coach, I'm just going to pause you. Let's go on a water break. So you just sip, some water and just rest. We'll be right back to continue with this conversation. So don't go anywhere. We're right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's Sports This Morning. We're broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. And you can be part of the show as we take a look at national team management in Nigeria. We have the technical advisor of the Super Eagles, Gernot Rohr. He's in Bordeaux, in France, staying safe. Let's go back to the coach. Coach, I'm sure you had a good water rest. Let's continue with where you stopped. You were talking about keeping up with the players. What are they telling you? Are they still in good shape to continue with football when COVID-19 is over?
Yeah, the players now want to play again. They are training. Everybody is training. Only in France, they stopped the league. But all other big championships in Europe are starting again. Germany did it. France stopped. So you have actually our player Kalu in Lagos, in his family, and his holidays, because they will start the training in the end of June only. So we are in the touch all the time, by phone, by video call. I can see them, I can message them, and everybody is okay, everybody is working. The players who are now holidays, the French one, we have also Simon Moses, with Victor Osimhen, they are also playing in France, very important players for us. Victor Osimhen, I think, will have a very big opportunity to go from Lille, perhaps in Premier League or in Italy, in a very, very big club. This is also a success for him, but also for the Super Eagles to have players in Champions League clubs. If we have players playing in a very high level in the clubs, our level in the Super Eagles is growing also.
Yeah, that's a good one. You just mentioned Osimhen, concerning the fact that he may just move to one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Are you in support of him leaving Lille this season, or maybe he should stay for another season before moving to Europe?
If he stays for another season, would be good for him because he's playing. If he's going to a very big club, you have seen the clubs who are eventually ready to buy him now, it's not so sure to play because there is a big competition for the starting places in the team. If he's staying in Lille, would be good because sportively he will progress, we are sure about it. But he's also able now, because he's progressing so much, to play in a very big club. It's depending. If he has competition, would be better to play in a better club than Lille. If he's not playing, it's not so good for him because a young player like him has to play to progress.
So, Coach, let's take some messages from the fans. They want to understand the scouting system of the Super Eagles. Are there players you're looking at now? And how do you get some of these players that are scattered across Europe that have the potential to play for the Super Eagles?
Yeah, we have our scouting crew. This one is based in London with Mr. Tunde, but also in Germany with Nabil Tabelsi, my assistant, my analyzer. We have also our people in France, in Italy. We are watching all the leagues in Spain also, in Europe, where are the Nigerian players. Of course, we have some players we are interested to have them with us, but most of them played already for other countries in the youth selection. So it's not easy. They must come to us and say, we are interested to come with you. We are not begging anybody to come with us. But if somebody wants to come, like had with Iwobi or Ola Aina or Ekong or Tyrone, we had some players like that. The door is open, but it's not to us to tell them, we want to have you, absolutely, you must leave your country and play with Nigeria. No, they must be convinced that they are playing with their heart and with all the motivation for Nigeria Super Eagles.
Okay, another one coming from Olaniyan Oladeji, that's from Twitter. He says, you should update us on OVA Ejeria. What's the updates coming from that one? That's what Olaniyan wants to know about the player.
This player is one of the players we are looking for. We are in touch with him. These players who played already for the youth teams of their countries, there is a process to do. They have to write to FIFA. They have to write a letter. They have to follow some rules to change. But Ejeria is one of the players. We like him, and we could invite him. We have other ones. You know the names. I'm not here to give you all the names we are in contact with, but they are very just like him who could come in our team, could have the chance, and I hope we will have some friendlies, because you see the calendar now. It's very difficult to make friendlies because we have to do our qualifiers at first for the AFCON and for the World Cup already. Should start in November, but will be difficult now to start the qualifiers in November. We need friendlies to test these players, and would be good to do it in September already. Would be very good to start with these friendlies.
I must say, thank you so much, Coach Genaro. It was short notice, but you jumped on this interview. Thank you so much. How do I say, please stay safe in French? How do I say it?
Thank you. You too. Stay safe, please, in Nigeria. Hello to all our fans. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, it's okay. Coach Genaro, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. That's the Super Eagles technical advisor, Genaro. I said, that was a whole lot of conversation.
To break your jaw. That's why I didn't bother.
I wanted him to say it, and I'll say that's what I wanted to say to you.
We're not going to say it,
I
right?
wasn't going to say it.
Okay, there is a whole lot. I mean, I love the fact that I talked about the league should restart, other leagues are starting and all that. When it happens, you know, football is getting closer, but the national teams, you really can't tell people, because FIFA feels health and the safety of the players is paramount. So when it's not safe, football will not return at international level.
I agree.
Well, a whole lot of things they talked about.
Let's just hold on that conversation. Let's go on this quick timeout. When we come back, Shola Rogers will join us. We will break down everything Coach Genaro said to us this morning, and we want you to be part of that conversation. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
To the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos, as the Channels International Kids Cup officially kick off here this lovely day. It promises to be a very, very exciting day. And to our brothers on the West Coast, I say bienvenue. C'est le moment de programme de Channel, le tournoi international pour le cadets. That's the international championship for cadets in primary school. And that was just a little bit of French, just saying welcome to everybody. And right on your screen are players of both Emmanuel Anglican Nursery and Primary School of Okesa, Ado Ekiti in Ekiti State, in green attires. Well, of course, we have players too from Anambra State, Premier Primary School of Aguleri in black attire. So the game is going to kick off as the boys in black. That is Premier Primary School of Aguleri that takes the kickoff here at Teslim Balogun Stadium. And this early incursion by the boys from Ekiti. No goal on either side. We are watching and indeed following and covering the game involving Emmanuel Nursery and Primary School. Dangerous moment before I could land. Our Aguleri boys have taken the lead here at Teslim Balogun Stadium.
First half of this game almost over. An opportunity now again for the Bosman Anambra. He loops it and it's a goal. A second goal. And I think 2-0. It should be a comfortable cushion, Raymond.
Yeah, Charlie, Anambra boys said know what they want. They've been so business-like. And here they are, burying goal number 2. There's some sloppiness on part of defense players of Ekiti.
Okay. Defense sloppiness, of course, you don't want to be that sloppy. An opportunity now for the boys of Ekiti. What can he do with it? He shoots and the goalkeeper was on hand, but oh my God, he rifled that one in. He has half the deficit. It's 2-1, Raymond. Impressive strike, if you ask me.
Apparently, the recovery moment.
So that's it, highlights from the Channels International Kids Cup. We miss it so much. COVID-19 didn't let us have season 12. But we'll be back because we'll beat COVID-19 and then we'll get back to catching them young. Let's get on with the show now. We had our coach Gernot Rohr earlier talking about his new contract with the NFF, talking about the Super Eagles, talking about what you need to have to play for the Super Eagles, and of course, answered a whole lot of questions from you guys. Let's keep the conversation going on Twitter. Channels_sports, Facebook Channels-sport. You can send us an email to sportsthismorning@channelstv.com. What's your take after listening to Coach Gernot Rohr speak to us this morning? Shola Rogers is with us now in the studio. Shola, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Awesome.
We're good.
Awesome. Staying safe?
Yeah, obviously.
COVID, please go away. I'm tired.
Even when it goes, it's the new normal, guys. We just have to live with it.
Some things will go back to what it was, but a lot of things will remain the way they are.
Yeah, like I can't just shake hands anymore.
It's difficult.
It's difficult now, you know.
It's strange. It's kind of strange when you're even greeting someone that you used to probably hug with
yeah, you know,
not like
that's the new normal.
how far now?
Let's get on with the show, Shola. Good to have you around. Coach Gernot Rohr, I'm sure you listened to him. And I think he was really on point to some of the responses he gave.
Always on point. That's the thing. Always on point. And it's good that people are getting to see a video of him talk now. Because a lot of things that people say get distorted. You know, at times people are pushing an agenda, and so they take these things out of context. So, yes, it was on point. I'm glad that this is where we are now. We put all the drama behind us, you know, and it's time to move forward. And that's basically what I can submit here, because we've heard the NFF talk, we've heard him talk, and it's time to mend fences and everybody just move forward and get these targets that they've set for him achieved, because it's achievable.
Of course, it is. Nations Cup, qualifying for the World Cup, achievable. And the fact that he's got some young and talented young players to actually work with. Okay. Now, there's something the sports minister said, you know, concerning the Gernot Rohr, you know, his contract and the fact that NFF has extended it. He said something about, you know, signing and what he needs to do and how they need to actually work for the development of Nigerian football. Let me just take that out of the way before we look at his record, what he has done with the national team. For the sports minister, Sunday Dare, he says, for all, because he has been signed on earlier, he deserved to be given the right of first refusal. That was what the NFF did, and that was what I also allowed to happen. It is best practices. It is global practices, but the NFF also had a review of his performance in the last 3 to 4 years, and based on that review, his new contract had new conditions that never existed before. Some of them bordering on mode of payment, some of them bordering technical issues regarding the development of our football. And that's one, to me, is fundamental. That's coming from Sports Minister Sunday Dare. So, yeah, well spoken.
Yeah, but it's good.
Shola, what do you think?
Well, in general, the minister has spoken well. But at times, they try to gloss over the real issues. The right of first refusal should not have been up for debate if that was what drove them to give him this contract. You know, they shouldn't have said the things they said. You know, a lot of things were said by the NFF officials, and a lot of things were ascribed to Gernot Rohr too. So, but the minister saying that the right of refusal was what they used is, for me, not tenable, because a lot of things were said. We don't need to go. That's why I actually concluded the first time you asked me that now that it's signed, can we just move on? But I just need to point it out that they should stop trying to say these things to us, because we're not babies. We know what happened. Everybody knows that there were issues, and it looks like the issues have been settled. And it's time for everybody that is a Nigerian to get behind Gernot Rohr and the Super Eagles now. You supported him or not, doesn't matter now. You support the NFF or not, doesn't matter. What you support is the green, white, green. So let's all get behind Gernot Rohr.
That's it. That's what it is. Contract renewal out of the way now, and Trust Channels.
No more distractions.
We had to bring him now. Person saw him, listened to him. We brought him to the comfort of your homes. So I'll keep telling you to just let us do this. Just walk with us. Let's take a look at Gernot Rohr's record, and then understand. He said he wants the consistency that he's building the team to continue. So Shola, he has played 49 games, 29 wins, 11 draws, and 9 losses. It's not decent. By the way, that's his best record as a coach from any of the countries that he has ever led.
It's a fantastic result. If you ask me over and over again, I would say the same thing because his win ratio is higher, you know, than his loss ratio, which is what we want, actually. A few of these losses were avoidable, but we've learned from them, you get. And we must understand that there's a building phase, there's a building period, which is what we've gone through in the past 4 or 4.5 years or thereabouts. So what it remains now is for him to get down to brass tacks. Let us know that this is your first, second team, and this is your squad. You know, every day talent is being thrown up. Nobody should be excluded, home-based or international, as long as the person is legitimately a Nigerian, playing football and playing football at the best level. They should be looked at. They should be brought in. You know, so it needs to continue. I like the question about the scouting network and everything. There's so many kids out there here in Nigeria also. You know, so I'm glad that he has no more excuses. What he needs now is to deliver the amount of potential that Nigeria has when it comes to football, especially the current crop of Super Eagles players, gives me joy. Every time you just do a mental rundown of players, you start to hear names like Osimhen. You want to dance. Where you hear these guys, you're happy. Maduka Okoye. Look at all of them spread across the globe. You know? So nobody should be refused a chance to prove themselves.
That's right.
I don't like the discourse about home-based or foreign-based. I just like the fact that they are Nigerians, and if they are good enough, if they are the best 3 in every position, they should be in the Super Eagles.
Yes, Shola Cecilia even said something that was really, really good. He said that they are not begging anybody. That there are some persons that they know they can play for this country, but those people are waiting for them to come, for them to be approached. He mentioned Alex Iwobi. He mentioned William Troost-Ekong. That these persons came and said, we want to play for Nigeria. And today, they're doing just that. And with that, that's a good sense of patriotism.
Look, it's about attitude. And attitude is everything. If you have the attitude or the character and you feel that you can make it happen, you will go for it. You know, and that's what someone like Iwobi did. It was like, look, let me play for the Eagles. I don't know if people were there to coerce him or pressure him. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is that he showed that he wanted to play for Nigeria. And I read recently when he said he has no regrets. And he shouldn't. You get? As against people who you have to beg. If you have to beg someone to play for you, trust me, you're going to beg him to play well. You're going to beg him to show up for training. You're going to beg him throughout his Super Eagles career. We don't want those kind of players. We want the kind of players who are hungry to wear the green, white, green, because you should see it as a badge of honor to wear jerseys that people like Segun Odegbami have worn, you know, to wear jerseys, you know, that top Nigerians have worn. You know, when you remember Peter Rufa and the rest of them, you want to wear their jersey, you want to wear JJ's number 10, and you want them to beg you. Come on.
Okay, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough.
Simple.
All right. Okay. Let's leave Gennett Raw and the Super Eagles and quickly touch down in Germany. Some games that were decided on Sunday. That's going to be our focus. And of course, the big one, Borussia Dortmund are beating Paderborn 6-1. We have a player playing for Paderborn, Jeremy Collins. He started the game. But then Dortmund, after losing to Bayern, you know, at home, they went away from home to get this remarkable victory.
It's called a transfer of aggression, shall I?
Yes, boy, that's what it is, man. You know, but you know, you must talk about a phenomenal Sancho coming to that party with guns blazing.
All right, time to bring you updates concerning Odion Ighalo and the fact that Manchester United have failed to agree a loan extension for him.
I have a feeling that they would want to extend his contract. Maybe the terms might not be agreeable to his club, but the player looks like someone that still wants to continue, at least to finish this season. Since June 17 is very, very close by. They won't be able to buy new players, but they would want to have that extra cover. Even if Marcus Rashford seems to be back in training and all of that, they will still want to have a player like Ighalo, you know, in the squad and all of that. Let's see how today pans out. It's probably not over yet until there's an official statement, either by the player or by Man United.
Yeah, so there are reports that he has agreed. He has always said it that Manchester United
wasn't about the money for him.
that he wants to stay and all. We know the problem with Shanghai Shenhua. I mean, they've paid so much money to have him. They want to give him more. So they are the ones that they need to be fined for Odion Ighalo to be finer at Manchester United.
Yeah, but you see, the player has a major part to play. So that's why it's up to Man United now to step up. He's giving them the leeway that they require. So what they need to do is show him some faith by giving him a new contract extension. If they don't do that, then he's going to have to go back to China.
So the Telegraph is reporting that Manchester United have agreed to extend Odioni Areo's loan until the end of January 2021. The deal is awaiting confirmation with the FA for registration. So that's why we're getting news just in. Thank you to Dobie Man. Yeah, you're watching the show and you're sending us updates. We appreciate you. That's the age of journalism.
Yeah, that's a 7-month extension.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see how it goes.
So, Odioni Areo, hopefully, will get to continue with Manchester United because that's what he wants. We'll continue to take a look at that situation and give you updates. We'll still stay in the English Premier League. Cecilia, Shola, I don't know what's going on. A lot has been said about when this league will start, conditions here and there, but yes, it is coming back. June the 17th?
June 17th.
But the majority of the clubs are saying they don't want relegation. I don't know where that's coming from.
Look, this is it. They didn't change the rules midway. It was more or less looking like a force majeure.
Yeah.
But now that things are coming back to normal in a way, the league will start and everything has to revert to status quo. So there's no need for them to try to change the rules and ask for no relegation and all of that. The whole world is watching and they can't start changing the rules halfway. I don't think this no relegation thing will work. I think they should allow Liverpool win when they officially get it, because I feel they've done enough to win. They should allow the teams that should be relegated get relegated so that the teams coming up from the EFL can also come up.
And it's so funny. It's the teams in the bottom half saying that they should scrap relegation. Can you see?
I think they're just being very greedy. And they're not thinking about how it affects the lower leagues. Because it's going to trickle down to the Championship, trickle down, to League 1, 2, 3, and all of that.
That's the only objective of any team in the Championship. Gain promotion to the EPL.
And they're going to kickstart on the 20th of June if everything goes well for them, In Spain, it's the 13th of June, the Premier League on the 17th, the EFL on the 20th. So why would you want teams that deserve to be relegated to stay when there are teams that deserve promotion that will be deprived?
Because
it shouldn't happen.
The EPL is a marathon and it's not a sprint. So a marathon was going and all of a sudden you cut it short and you're coming back for the sprint finish. You may not have the energy
The FA really don't need... Look, if I work with the FA, I'm not even going to stress myself. I'm just going to show them what the rule book says. The league is restarting. They didn't say it's an abridged league. They didn't say they were changing anything. The only difference is that they might deploy recorded fan voices, to create the ambience. To create the ambience of a football match, That's the only thing that might change. The fact that the fans will not be allowed into the stadiums. So nobody should come and change the rules as per relegation.
And when, at some point, we loved the Bundesliga called Frankfurt.
We did, we did, because we know how JJ was running rings around Oliver Kahn and his likes.
Making everybody eat grass.
No. Okay. that was his own way of fighting. So if JJ was playing football now, a lot of people eat grass because he said that was his own way of fighting racism.
Let's quickly go to the papers.
He did the talking with his feet.
There's no point. Let's go to the papers now quickly. I'll start with Sporting Life. And Sporting Life, Man United loan extension. Okay, Claire Zigalo, you still have this one and the stands and everything. Here, league president to clubs pay us £72 million to sign Osimhen. So that's what they're looking at. So his asking price is 70.
Based on the current market,
million.
I think he's worth every pound.
Every pound, okay. All right. We will give our best for Raw. That's what Super Eagles players are saying, from Uzoho, Kalu, and Collins. All of them are confident.
No, give your best for Nigeria.
Okay, not the coach.
Let's see front page of the Complete Sports newspaper. The top left-hand corner says Manchester City joined Chelsea in race for Chukwueze. They will see more of him when the La Liga begins. He will be out for Real Madrid. Raw, I could be fired after 2021 if what? I think we had a coach this morning and there's no if. He just wants to keep rebuilding the team. Indeed, excited over football return. That's a good one. We'll get to see Ndidi again. See Kelechi Iheanacho and all of our Nigerian stars in the APL.
We can't wait. We just can't wait.
Okay, the last one this morning is coming from Sporting Sun, and here it's still on Osimhen and the money the club is putting on him. Another one, PSG completes 50 million euros for Icardi. And this one, MPFL clubs set for face-off with LMC. I'm waiting for that. That's the one I'm waiting for.
No comment.
No comment. France Football Magazine, Okocha, the 7th best African player. The 7th best player Africa has ever produced. That's coming from French, the France Football
We
Magazine.
disagree.
We don't accept that. We do not accept that. That will be other discussions.
We disagree.
Right?
But we don't agree with that, statistics. Thank you so much, Shola Rogers.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Stopping
It's
by.
always
Always
fun.
a delight to have you on the show.
We need to get that now because Chimize is just right here waiting in the wings, right?
No, we need to
Thank you
run.
guys for watching. I'm Cecilia Mongbe. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Let's do this again. I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.